Hello everybody, welcome back to the LMC channel. I'm your host Liam, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It's one of Nintendo's biggest games this year, selling incredibly well, over 10 million copies as the time of this recording, and it's only gonna get bigger from there. It's a wonderfully well thought out game that encourages creativity, puzzle solving, and exploration for an enjoyable experience for all, and for the hardware it's on. Alright, positives aside, yeah, I thought it was okay. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the game for what it was, but I just felt as if there could have been so much more, and having already played Breath of the Wild, I felt as if I was just doing the same thing again. But I digress. Let me give this game a fair chance to show you what I enjoyed, what I disliked, and what I felt like could be improved on for future Zelda games. I know right now people are more focused on more recent Nintendo games such as Pikmin 4, but this script took a long time to make. A lot of rewrites, fixes, heck, I even had to go back into the game and get some extra recordings. But without further ado, this is my review of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I hope you don't have plans, because we're gonna be here for a while. With the Legend of Zelda series, I've always been up and down thinking whether I'm a fan or not. I mean, every morning I wake up to a sign hanging on my wall asking if I'm a Zelda fan. I have no idea what this means. Now, prior to the release of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I've only completed 2 Zelda games, Link's Awakening and Breath of the Wild. I loved Breath of the Wild. I got it the day it came out alongside my Nintendo Switch, and since there was barely anything to play on it besides Zelda, I immediately got hooked with it. I mean, even the build-up to the game was amazing. The 2017 trailer is still one of the best trailers I've seen for a video game. The game itself was incredible, being able to explore Hyrule, finding shrines, finding monsters, gathering items at your own leisure, as the game allowed the player to take their time and get accustomed to the land of Hyrule. So shortly after the release of Breath of the Wild, talks of a sequel were beginning to spread online. I heard around that time that the developers of the game claimed that they would love to revisit Breath of the Wild's map and continue the style of gameplay Breath of the Wild had. This was basically somewhat of a confirmation that we were going to get a sequel to Breath of the Wild. So, when the sequel was officially announced to be in development at E3 2019, people were very hyped to see where they were going to take the series next. And after a few years of Nintendo going silent on the game, they released a trailer at the last E3, and while I was excited for the game, I was pretty skeptical, as the sequel confirmed that we were going to explore the same Hyrule that was in Breath of the Wild, and I was pretty nervous that it was just going to be more of the same, though we'll get to that in a little bit. So, 2022 comes around, and it seems as if the game is going to be coming out that year, until Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma announces the game has been delayed to spring 2023. I remember a lot of people were upset about this news, though I thought to myself that this wasn't a big deal, as the game would only be delayed for about 4 or 5 months, possibly an April or May release. Later, Nintendo announces in a Nintendo Direct that the new Zelda game would be called The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and released on May 12th, 2023. Hey, look who was right! Though after this, Nintendo didn't really start to market the game until February of 2023, where they announced the game would be $70, the first time Nintendo ever did this, and of course fans cried over the fact that they now had to pay $10 extra to Nintendo. So, as Nintendo continued to reveal more information on the game, the hype for this game continued to grow, and it really grew. And, finally, on May 12th, 2023, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom released to universal acclaim. So after that long introduction to the history of the game, let's finally talk about what the game has to offer. Spoilers if you want to go into this game blind, let's begin. The story starts out with Link and Zelda exploring the depths of Hyrule Castle after hearing about the strange activities going on down there. Link and Zelda find the source of the problem being Ganondorf, who takes Link's arm and destroys the Master Sword. Zelda falls into a pit and mysteriously vanishes, and Link is taken up to the skies, where he's given a new arm. The arm turns out to be the arm of the first king of Hyrule, Rauru. Ew, a furry! Who helps Link grow accustomed to his new hand, and tells him where exactly Princess Zelda is. After completing 4 shrines and learning the power of this new arm, Link heads over to the Temple of Time, where he places the Master Sword on a pedestal. The sword vanishes from Link and magically falls into the hands of Princess Zelda. Link jumps down from the plateau and heads over to Lookout Landing, where he talks to Pura, this woman that the internet cannot get enough of for some weird reason, I don't really know. Pura gathers information that Princess Zelda has been spotted in several locations on the map, and that it's up to Link to find out what's going on. And that's the basic premise of the beginning of the game. It's perfectly fine. I believe that it's one of the things that makes this game stand out from Breath of the Wild. Just like in that game, the story is mostly told through you traveling around Hyrule to view memories of what Zelda is doing in the past. Instead of having to match up a location from pictures, you have to find a new teardrop in a geoglyph. It's pretty cool, and you can see how Zelda is implemented into the story. Just like in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom uses the same cel-shaded art style as before, though Hyrule looks a little darker to me. I don't know, it's probably just me, but Breath of the Wild looks brighter. I mean, look how dark this game is. Oh wait, my bad, that's just the depths. I like how the new Skyworld looks, with all this yellow dead grass and autumn trees. It's very pleasing to look at. The music is also amazing in this game, when you're able to listen to it, though most of it's reused from Breath of the Wild. Let's see here. I like the new audio sound effects. They're pretty cool how they're more realistic, though again there's nothing really new to talk about in this section since most of the presentation is the same in Breath of the Wild. Again, just like Breath of the Wild, gameplay in this game is mostly going through shrines, going into combat, gathering weapons, finding chests, riding horses, teleporting all over the place, the same thing as before. All of the new abilities come from Link's hand. The most prominent of these is the Ultra Hand ability. I see what you did there, Nintendo. This allows Link to craft and build machines, allowing for creative ways to solve the various puzzles in Hyrule. Apparently this crafting mechanic was the reason why Tears of the Kingdom took so long to make, and also caused the game to get delayed. They had to make sure nothing goes wrong with an almost game-breaking mechanic like that. And you know what? It's very responsive. You are able to create a variety of things, including a car, a flying machine, the goblin bike, music, or whatever this is. I found myself enjoying crafting and using these machines to figure out an obstacle I came across. You can also use the materials that are provided by President Hudson or the auto build feature, which recreates a device at the cost of Zonite. These rock-like currencies. You'll lose your Zonite in the process of doing this, but it's so worth it. There's the fusing mechanic that allows you to combine weapons and shields or even some random objects on an arrow to see what happens in battle.
Oh boy, smooching time!
And you're gonna need to use this tool a lot, because weapons break more than ever now. There's the Ascend feature. This one's my favorite. Ever wanted to just skip another floor or arrive on top of a mountain with ease? Well, with this, you can do that. Though only in current situations. Despite this, it's probably my favorite new move, and I hope it returns in future games. The rewind ability allows you to...
Yeah, it's rewind time.
If you make a mistake, or move a boulder out of the way for you not to get hurt, or go back to the Sky World, and that's all of Link's new abilities. They're all pretty fun to use, and really help stand this game out from Breath of the Wild. As you are already aware, there are islands in the sky. They're fun to go to, and also this is where you can collect pieces to build stuff that you can take to these guys. Though besides that, there are only a handful of times where you actually need to go to the Sky World, since they're basically just islands in the sky. Come on, Link. Pit does a better job making me want to go to Sky World. There are also chasms you can enter to go to the depths. The new big area making the map twice as big. I don't like it down here. This is where you're going to spend most of your time crafting stuff. But it's bland and dark down here, and there's nothing besides some Zonite Yiga clan members, including the top banana, wanna be cool, Master Conga, whose fights are actually kind of fun, I admit it. And don't be like me and waste your time trying to find all the root shrines. It's not worth it in the end to complete the map, because the monsters are fun to fight down here. Oh yeah, the monsters. The combat in this game is great, just like in Breath of the Wild. The enemies in this game are more powerful, and you will get killed trying to find their weaknesses, but once you strategize and figure out how to defeat the enemy, it's satisfying. Though, since the enemies are more powerful, it does make the game seem more like a master quest of Breath of the Wild, and that game already had one. Oh yeah, these guys. I hate them. Get away! Get away! Get away! I don't like you! Get out of here! Come on, get up there! Come on! Come on, Link! Get up! Finally! Come on! The shrines are fun to find and figure out their puzzles, from the combat ones to the brain teaser ones. It's fun to figure out how to complete them, and I didn't use a guide for any of them. The entrance to the towers are much harder now since you have to solve a puzzle to enter one. Link's new clothes he can get are fun to collect. I especially love the wingsuit. And while I'm here, I should mention the diving feature. It's fun to just dive down into a pool of water and watch all that water pour down on you. The new dye system allows you to dye your clothes and now your glider. What else is there? Oh yeah, these guys. Yes, the Koroks are back, everyone's favorite part of Breath of the Wild, and there are more of them defined. Yay! Though it doesn't seem that way, as a lot of them are stuck on the ground and you have to search for their friends. The cast of side characters are fun to listen to. I love the mayoral election, this pelican guy, President Hudson's most loyal supporter. I'll support you, President Hudson! And yeah, that's it for gameplay. Going back to the story, the locations Pura asks you to look at are actually the towns from the different species Hyrule has to offer, and they all have problems. The Rito are stuck in a snowstorm. The Gerudo are stuck in a sandstorm and being attacked by these creatures called Gibdos. The Zora region is covered in sludge, so you have to grab your flood and just spray the whole area. And the Goron are too busy chowing down on some rocks, with this guy selling them, either having his own cartel or just want to make every Goron have their own mukbang channel. I don't know. These are all interesting places to visit and help out the story in the long run since, spoiler alert, you get one of the powers from your allies which you can use in battle, though they easily get in your way during battle. And thank God you can turn these guys off, because I don't know what I would have done if these guys were always in my way. The bosses in this dungeon are pretty challenging, except for this Kolar guy. He's pretty easy once you figure him out. Alright, it's time for the spoiler territory, so if you're still interested in playing this game without getting spoiled, I suggest you skip to this part of the video. Alright, for those of you who are still here, in The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Adachi from Persona 4 shows up out of nowhere, demanding the Chaos Emeralds, so he can become Super Adachi, and Link says,
"How about a kiss for luck?"
And, alright, fine, I'll tell you the truth. So after locating the geoglyphs, you find out that Zelda is the Sage of Time, and that Ganondorf killed Queen Sonia of Hyrule, causing the imprisoning war. King Rauru gives his strongest warriors secret stones to prevent the Demon King from returning, and places the seal on Ganondorf, dehydrating him for the next couple of centuries. Zelda, wanting to help the battle with Link in the future, turns herself into a dragon, allowing her to become immortal. Meanwhile, in the future, Ganondorf's power becomes more powerful each time the blood moon rises, so Pura tells Link to investigate the castle, as Zelda has been spotted there. Link goes up to the castle, and Zelda, surprise surprise, turns out to be a puppet, controlled by Ganondorf. And let me tell you something, Link should have seen this one coming. I mean, if he found all the geoglyphs, what is he, stupid? After defeating all of Ganondorf's clones, Pura and the other figures figure out that they need the help of the Sixth Sage, with the help from our good old friend, Paya. Link finds an island that leads him to an underground area where Link meets up with the Sixth Sage, who turns out to be a mech. And you know what? I'm not a fan of this mech. It's just better to walk. Anyways, after finding out that Ganondorf is hidden underground, Link goes on a quest to retrieve the Master Sword, which is on top of what is now Princess Zelda. And look, I totally found this Master Sword by accident, let me tell you that. Link makes his way through a tough and dangerous journey where, at the end, he finds Ganondorf. And let me tell you, the battle between him and Link is very challenging, but very satisfying to be able to defeat him. After being defeated, Ganondorf eats the secret stone, causing him to become a dragon. And with the help from Princess Zelda, Link is able to defeat Ganondorf just before he's able to take over Hyrule. And after being defeated, Link gets his old arm back, and Zelda is transformed back into her old self. But both Link and Zelda are in the sky, and they can't fly. So, one of the greatest endings to a Nintendo game happens. And that's it! The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. It's a lot of fun, and it'll keep you coming back for years. I mean, I'm still finding new things in this game. Like, did you know that the Yiga clan members will disguise themselves as Zelda to trick Link? That's really cool. But the reused map makes this game not feel new. Though I had my fun, even completing almost half of the game. Jeez, why did I do that? Though surprisingly no DLC for the game has been announced yet, I sure thought that Nintendo Direct in June 2023 was going to bring that up.
A vast number of players are enjoying their time in Hyrule in The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, which released last month.
Here we go! Zelda DLC!
New amiibo of Zelda and Ganondorf are planned to be released this holiday.
Damn it! Who knows? Maybe we'll get DLC in the future, but if the Zelda team is working on a new game, I want them to continue the open world formula for Zelda, but next time, we go to a completely different place that isn't Hyrule, because I don't think there's too much more they can do to this map to make it feel any more distinct. That's all I'm asking, since Eiji Aonuma, the producer of Zelda, says he has wanted to continue the Breath of the Wild open world style gameplay. I just hope Hyrule doesn't get flooded and Link has to fight in space, but we'll just have to see. Well, my name is Liam. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to do that thing that every other YouTuber tells you to do, and I'll see you guys next time.